We get ready for first pitch tonight here in game number 3. Anibal Sanchez is getting loose. Last worked in a ball game 2 weeks ago, and it was brilliant. Didn't allow a hit through the first 7 2/3 innings. Game 1 of the NLCS in St. Louis. An eventual 2-0 win with Sean Doolittle getting the final outs. The Houston Astros do not have the luxury of a DH as the series moves to the National League City. Typical look up top: Springer, Altuve, and Brantley. In the middle, Alex Bregman homered in game 2. Yuli Gurriel, Carlos Correa at short. The back end, Reddick, Robinson Chirinos, and Zach Greinke. A very good hitting pitcher. Springer studying Sanchez, and that got your attention, John Smoltz, when I told you it had been exactly 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's a tough gig for a starting pitcher, especially at this time of the year. You like the rest, but the too much rest starts messing with the timing of your secondary pitches. And look, these two guys combined are going to have an array of off-speed pitches that are going to try to baffle the hitter's timing. You're going to see changeups that might look like eephus balls. You're going to see split fingers. He has 7 different pitches he throws. He's been outstanding in the postseason. He's relaxed. Here we go. We're going to find out what that rest did or didn't do.
It's been a while. A pitch has been thrown in a World Series in D.C. And it's a strike. That goes right into a trophy case. And there are the numbers for George Springer, who is 2 for 8 in this World Series. Just 9 hits this entire postseason, hitting .167.
Nope.
Sanchez has obviously pitched against some of these guys quite often, and the success is against Springer away. Springer has had some success against him on some splits that were fat in the zone.
That's going to be a tough play. And a base hit to start the night for Springer on the infield. Even if Sanchez comes up with that, he's got no shot at Springer at first, and the leadoff man is on for Houston here in game 3.
Well, the one thing that the Nationals did against the Astros was kind of soft contact success. And really, Houston's not, they don't have to play a perfect game tonight. They just have to get some things going. And by getting guys on base, look for Astros to take stolen bases when given to them, because Sanchez has had a hard time holding runners and has had 0 success against him on the bases.
And that little slip, and he's telling his dugout, his manager Davey Martinez was on the top step saying, "Are you okay?" He had that slip going after that chopper, and he gives thumbs up to everybody concerned. And now we'll deal with Jose Altuve.
Interesting with Altuve at the plate. He loves the first pitch. He loves any pitch. Will he be patient? Will they wait to send Springer? The Astros have to put some pressure on the Nationals early. This crowd has been waiting for this moment for a long time. They're going to be into every pitch.
And we'll see if Altuve was right when he told Ken Rosenthal that he knows the Astros are going to break out here tonight. They need to. Hitting just .216 is Houston this postseason. That is 3 throws over in a row. Trying to catch Springer off guard, and that one was the closest.
Yeah, he's a little slower to the plate. He varies his moves. He's already shown 3 of them over there.
Nope.
But you can see that leg turn, and when he turns his hip, the runners have been able to take advantage and get down to second base at will against him.
Springer 1 steal this postseason, 6 during the regular year. Caught twice. 4 throws over.
And all of this will bother pitchers who have issues, and that's the whole goal. That's what you want to do.
For coverage of this game in Spanish, please tune to Fox Deportes. Well, if you have any of your concentration at first base and you're Sanchez and not at the guy standing at home plate with the bat in his hands, this guy, Jose Altuve, will make you pay. 5 home runs this postseason, hitting .358. That's into center. Back is Robles, and it's caught! Springer has to re-tag the bag. Back safely. What a play by Victor Robles in center field. Wow.
Looked a little anxious early in Houston in center. He didn't look anxious here at all. This is a fantastic play. Up against the wall. He has the presence to turn around. Of course, Springer thinks at this point, I got it. Now he has to go back, touch the bag. And this play was a lot closer than you could have thought it was going to be when Altuve hit it. What a play. Degree of difficulty, about 10.
Fantastic play by Victor Robles. Batter now Brantley. Jumps on that first pitch, fouls it, strike 1.
The matchup for both teams tonight, obviously they're not going to see 94, 95 miles an hour. They're going to see balls that are cutting, spinning, changing speeds. I mentioned the 7 different pitches he has here. And the Astros pride themselves on making the other pitcher work. But I think tonight they're going to be a little bit more aggressive against Sanchez.
Springer looks back like, hey, you're wearing me out. That's 5 checks on Springer over at first. As you said, that's what Sanchez has to do.
Ball. Well, the one good thing he's done, when he throws over to first and gets the ball back, he gets right back on the mound as quickly as he can, which creates a little bit of a how do I get my lead for Springer dilemma. See, he puts his foot on the rubber there, and then now Springer's going to kind of gauge. That was a quick pitch. Will he do 2 in a row? More than likely he won't.
He's still huffing and puffing from having to get back to first on that catch by Robles in center. All the way past the second base bag, retouched, and just got back in ahead of the throw. 1-1. Strike 2.
This is a high cutter. Trying to tie up Brantley, and exactly did. Right up and above his hands.
Jammed him a bit. Robles. 2 down. And the batter will be Bregman. The HP defensive lineup for the Nationals. Soto is in left. Robles has already made a fantastic play in center. Adam Eaton is in right. Around the infield, third to first, Anthony Rendon, Trey Turner, Asdrubal Cabrera, Ryan Zimmerman, and Kurt Suzuki. He's already had a good World Series behind the plate. Robles robbed Altuve of most likely a double and the Astros of a run.
It's a good opportunity for Bregman to jump the first pitch. Oh my. He's been disciplined all postseason on looking for one particular pitch in each matchup. There's the cutter in the zone. The reason I thought it would be a good opportunity, because with 2 outs, Sanchez, I felt, would try to get ahead of Bregman, knowing that with 2 outs they could steal a base. And he's done a good job. That's probably about 17 throws over, it seems like.
It does to Springer. Held on by Zimmerman. Strike two. Sanchez has thrown 12 pitches and thrown to first 7 times. Sanchez trying to get through a scoreless frame with a major piece of help out in center.
Nope.
Sanchez originally signed by the Red Sox in 01, went to the Marlins in 05, to the Tigers in 2012, a bad year in 2017. They cut him loose. Atlanta last year. There goes Springer. Pitch is high, and Springer steals second without a throw. So it took a while, but he finally wins that little mini battle.
And again, great discipline by Bregman, staying off this real close top of the pitch, top of the zone fastball.
Ball.
Struck him out. Just underway in game 3, and already a spectacular play in center by young Victor Robles. More frustration for the Astros. The Nationals, here's how they stack it up in game 3. Trey Turner first up, then Adam Eaton and Anthony Rendon. In the middle, Juan Soto, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Ryan Zimmerman. On the back end, Kurt Suzuki, Victor Robles, and Anibal Sanchez against the veteran right-hander Zach Greinke, who turned 36 this past Monday.
Nope.
Upstairs for ball 1. You saw the numbers this postseason for Greinke, who was acquired at the end of July from Arizona. 0-2, ERA just under 6.5.
No.
2-0.
Uncharacteristically, Greinke is a little bit off of his command that in the regular season over his career. He's so good throwing the fastball away, fastball in, slow curveball, harder cutter, and that changeup, that hard changeup that dives out of the strike zone.
Ball
3-0 to start the at-bat with Trey Turner.
And that's what happened in his start against New York. He worked himself into a jam in the first inning and luckily only gave up 1 run there, but in this game he's going to have to be much better against this stingy offense.
Turner. Right at the top of the strike zone, 3-1. Greinke with a career postseason ERA of 4.44 compared to a regular season mark of 3.35. Here comes his 3-1 pitch. High fly ball to left. Back at the wall. It is caught by Michael Brantley from a near walk to a drive basically to the wall and left, and 1 out.
A big out. I mean, that's the table setter. That's the guy that when he gets on, he can go and steal bases. He can run. And this was a absolute let it fly 3-1 swing. He might have caught it just a hair off the end of the bat.
Here's Adam Eaton. He's swinging it as well as anybody in this Nationals lineup. Takes a strike.
To me, he's a lot like a power hitter when he wants to be inside the zone, a slap hitter when he wants to be, a pest.
He hits it hard. Gurriel with a backhand in the race to the bag. 2 down. Just a tough out and a good hitter. And now 4 for 9 in this World Series. The HP defensive lineup for Houston. Michael Brantley just had to track one down and left. George Springer in center, still catching his breath, and Josh Reddick in right. Around the infield, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, and Yuli Gurriel with Robinson Chirinos trying to guide Greinke through a scoreless first inning here. Batter is Rendon.
These two pitchers offer a real change of pace of the first two games matched up with flame throwing, nasty stuff, and you had to get ready for velocity. Well, Zach Greinke and Sanchez, if you add up their strikeouts together, they don't get to that guy, Garrett Cole. So they're going to be more contact oriented. They're going to want ground balls. They're going to want balls down in the zone, and they're going to really want to change speeds to try to mess the timing of each opponents.
Ball.
That's down for ball 1.
That's the pitch he wants. He wants the bottom part of the zone with his fastball. He needs that part called a little bit more favorably for him.
Ball and a strike on Anthony Rendon. Hitting .325 this postseason, 1 for 8, but his one was a big one with a 2-run double in the first inning of Game 2 2 nights ago. A game that turned into a blowout late, 12-3 the final. The first major league win for Zach Greinke, who came up with the Royals in 04, was against the Montreal Expos. Wow. 204 more wins later. There's his line. He's won 205 games in the big leagues. That is down and away. And the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's got great numbers against the Nationals if you want to go there. Obviously not in this kind of a situation. But he's 3-0 with an ERA of 0.32. And 4 starts against Washington since 2015.
No.
That is, wow. Everybody was walking away on that one. And it missed. Let's see this one again.
Yeah, it's a great pitch. It's the breaking ball. It just splits the plate and must have been called down.
So it's a full count on Rendon. Let's see what he does with this chance. Fouled straight back.
Rendon known for not really swinging and missing much on breaking pitches. He's one of the best. Matter of fact, he is the best at not missing on breaking pitches on the year.
That's down toward the corner. Fair ball. Rendon has a 2-out double here in the first inning. The 2-2 pitch went his way. And then 2 pitches later, bang into the corner. And now the birthday boy, Juan Soto. Rolls one to the right side. Gurriel has to feed Greinke, and Greinke gets through a scoreless first. Each side leaves a man. Second inning, Game 3. No score. After 1, no score in game number 3. Line drive off the bat of Gurriel to Eaton in right. 1 pitch, 1 out. go back to a couple of pitches to Alex Bregman.
Well, this is going to be his firmest fastball of the night, 94, and then he throws this little blooper changeup at 75. That is tremendous, the way that he can change speeds with that grip. And you are going to see anywhere from the 60s to the 70s in that pitch, especially if he's got it working.
Here's Carlos Correa. Really struggling with the bat. He was a Game 2 hero in the ALCS, but 1 for 9 in this World Series and hitting 160 in the postseason. That is headed for the corner. Correa drives it to the wall, and he will cruise into second base with a 1-out double. A.J. Hinch talked to us prior to Game 2 of the ALCS and said, that's a guy, Correa, we've got to get going. He's got to figure out how to get better at bats. And here he is in Game 3, coming up with a 1-out double, and was hit hard.
Yeah, he took an inside sinker, it looked like, and squared it up. There's the sinker. That ball is supposed to be in more. They're trying to get it tight in, and he just gets the barrel of the bat out front. And that runner in scoring position again.
Reddick takes ball 1. Yeah, that's been a problem. Hitting 175 are the Astros with runners in scoring position at the start of the night. 176 in this World Series.
He's going to want to get Reddick out with splits if he can.
Nope.
That previous pitch crossed up Suzuki. A little easier to get crossed up by a guy that doesn't throw 97. He's looking for something else, and that handcuffs him. What an adjustment at the last minute. So much going on with sign giving and decoding him and trying not to give anybody else an edge. There's a lot of information in the process, a lot of signs to go over.
That hits the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike.
Typically what teams are doing is they're going to use an indicator that usually will, the next pitch that follows. So let's say it's after 2. The next pitch will be the pitch you want. They'll use touches. They'll use all kinds of different ways to not give the signs up.
Check on the runner, Correa. Turner's basically standing right there anyway. He's close to the bag. The defensive alignment they have for Reddick. In the air to left, might drop. That ball is going to get down. Correa to the plate. Throw home is too high. Astros lead 1-0 here in the second inning on a base hit by Josh Reddick.
Well, the reason that's important and why they were so aggressive is in the National League, of course, the pitcher bats. So you would have the 8th hitter and the pitcher to wiggle out of a jam. Let's say if it was first and third. A great read by Correa. The infield and third baseman were in. Watch how he reads this and his ability to recognize right about there. It's not going to be caught. And Soto had a chance, but he just came up firing as hard as he could, and the ball sailed on him. Great base running by Reddick to get to second on the high throw.
Yeah, at the moment they've not put an error on that play. It's a single RBI. Correa scores. Now Chirinos. Chirinos, another guy struggling, hitting .083 this postseason. Pretty good swing there. Fouled back, strike 1.
Now the good news for the Astros is that Greinke's actually a pretty darn good hitter. He spent some time in the National League, of course, with the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, and he can handle the bat. Most American League teams, other than interleague play, don't spend a lot of time with their pitchers. Batting practice and stuff like that.
Chirinos takes high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
No.
2-1.
Sanchez knows when a guy's up there and's got his number a little bit. 571. Chirinos coming in against Sanchez.
No.
That's down to make the count 3-1. Guy on deck, you said Greinke is a good hitter. He's hit 9 career home runs. 3 this year. Three-one pitch. That's a base hit into right. They will hold Reddick at third as Eaton comes up throwing, and that's 3 straight hits. And it presents Greinke with a chance to add to a 1-run lead.
Well, in this situation here with first and third, you've got a couple different options. You've got the safety squeeze, and what that means is the third base runner reads what Greinke does, bunting between the pitcher and first base. You can't defend the play if you execute it right. At worst, you end up with second and third if the bunt isn't great. 2 outs with Springer up. Normally, with a decent hitting pitcher, the manager will give the pitcher a pitch early to try and drive him in by swinging.
And we'll see how Houston wants to play coming into this game. The Astros had back-to-back hits in this World Series only twice. They've got 3 in a row here and ask for something out of Zach Greinke.
And the reason he's throwing over to first is trying to see if Greinke commits his hand by starting to square around or moving the hand on the bat. Greinke didn't show any signs at all of what he was trying to do. That's the reason they're throwing to first.
There's the bunt. A check of the runner at third, and now it's second and third, 2 down. So they played it straight, just a sacrifice bunt.
That's a good bunt for a sacrifice, but for the runner, it's not a good bunt because now he can't go home. If you bunt that to first base side, now the runner has a chance to read that because the third baseman's going to be on you a lot quicker than the first baseman because he has to hold the runner. So that bunt is a great bunt to sacrifice, but no chance for Reddick to score. And so what we said, second and third, 2 outs, Springer has a chance.
That's a strike. Well, 2 things in play. One, Greinke, as we said, can handle the bat. But you've got about as good a leadoff hitter in this Astros lineup to produce runs with a hit as you're going to find anywhere. Drove in 96 during the regular season in the hole here 0-2.
And the only thing he falls victim to from time to time is swinging too hard. A couple times he's lost his balance, has Springer trying to hit the ball 150 miles an hour rather than 100. Now with 2 strikes, see if he can kind of cut it down to 90 miles an hour and make contact.
If Sanchez pitches long enough in a ball game, we'll see just about every reading in that velocity category. 75, 78, 83, 74, 94. Tough to figure. Count 2-2.
He does a great job. He started off slow this year. He was 0-4 in April with a high ERA and then basically went on a torrid stretch. 8-2, undefeated June, July, and August, and he has got an array of pitches that just mess with the timing of the hitter. And those 2 weeks off so far, it looks like he is not affected by that.
13 different velocities over his first 32 pitches. And now Springer steps out. Second and third, 2 out. That's inside. And from 0-2 to 3-2.
He wants to throw. It's called a front door cutter. He's trying to throw that ball in and have it cut just an inch. Looks like it's going to be inside to the hitter, and if he had a little more cutting action, he would have got that freeze strike that he was looking. He established in, and then he tried to throw that front door cutter for strike 3.
Shortstop Turner gloves it, throws it high, but out. And the Astros get one, leave 2. And here in game 3, it's Reddick who delivers Correa to put Houston on top. One left is brought to you by State Farm. 1-0 game. Batter is as Dribble Cabrera. He takes a strike. This has been the home for the Nationals since 2008. From 05 through 07. Team played at RFK. That is hooked down into the corner. Over to cut it off is Reddick, and it's a leadoff base hit for Dribble Cabrera to start the second.
Well, he's in there because he's swinging the bat good. He's had good success off of Greinke. Of course, no DH. They lose Kendrick. But man, has he been a great pickup. Cabrera has been huge for the Nationals, especially at the plate. Another base hit. I'm telling you, man, this team right here went so far under the radar because they struggled, and then they were known for their 4 starters. Their offense is what's probably surprising most of America that didn't get a chance to see the Nationals play a lot.
Here's Ryan Zimmerman. Strike 1. I mean, for Cabrera, he was released by Texas, signed with Washington, and just see what he does with Greinke. That's one of the reasons why he's in there, but all he did was hit. 323, 6 homers, 40 RBIs. Didn't commit an error in the field. That's foul, and that's strike 2.
Greinke's really good at getting the ball on the ground when he's on, and so therefore you can get some double plays. I always found this time of the year, man, the leadoff guy gets on, you feel like it's such a rally, and the crowd is standing with a runner on first and nobody out. They would never do that in the regular season. So the more stress you can put on the starting pitcher in this time of the year, you have to deal with just eliminating it, and a double play here would be like the biggest. It's the best feeling in the world when he's had a million of them in his career.
Here's an 0-2.
No.
Zimmerman with that home run back in game 1. Started the scoring for Washington. Able to hang on to win that ball game 5-4, but a 2-out shot off Garrett Cole was a big swing of the bat. 1-2.
No.
And see, that's why the pitch down is so important to Greinke. He has movement and wants the hitter's eyes looking down. And if he can get some swings down there, that brings the changeup into play. It brings the slider into play. Greinke, as he's gotten older, has lost miles per hour on his fastball, but he historically is always really good with his command. Just wants the hitter to fish a little bit out of the zone down.
Breaking ball. Wow. Here, A.J. Hinch told us before the game, this is not some cute little wild card story with the Washington Nationals. They're really good. They have a great blend of veterans, guys they've picked up even in season. But that veteran presence and then the good young players like obviously Soto, Robles, Trey Turner still young. 2-2. Breaking ball is hooked into left, and that is a base hit. Back-to-back singles by Cabrera and Zimmerman. 2 on, nobody out.
So what happens with hitters, if they aren't afraid of velocity, meaning they're cheating to catch up velocity, then they can sit on pitches like this. But if your fastball location is on both sides of the plate, then it gets a little more difficult for the offense. Right now, the Nationals feel like the fastball's not an issue against Greinke. They can wait a little longer and get the secondary stuff, and they've done a nice job staying back and taking what Greinke gives them.
He gave Zimmerman a 67-mile-per-hour pitch, and Zimmerman roped it. Here's Suzuki in for a strike. Suzuki with that home run in game number 2 to lead off the 7th against Verlander, untie the game, and then the Nationals just kept playing add-on.
Nope.
That's down. 6th catcher with a go-ahead home run in a World Series game from the 7th inning on. He hit 17 during the regular season. He's got just 3 hits in this postseason, but that was a big one for anybody.
He's had some big ones for the Nationals during the year as well.
1-1 pitch. Good delivery by Greinke, strike 2. Runners at first and second with nobody out.
Ball.
2-2.
See, that's the power changeup. You see at 88 miles an hour, it's not much off of his fastball, but the drop. He wants that in the middle of the plate. See the spin, and then it just drops. And when he's on the attack and getting strike 1, strike 2, and getting ahead of hitters, which he does regularly until this postseason, then they can't lay off that pitch.
Going to throw this little nugget out there early tonight. And you can chew on it while we play in the early innings here. But in the right situation, later in this ball game, you know who's in the bullpen for the Washington Nationals? Max Scherzer.
Yeah, that would be the going for the throat situation if they are in that position. He's not in it now, but he'll be down there if the situation gets close to warning it.
Breaking ball is hammered foul. Well, it's been some streak. 8-game postseason winning streak for Washington. Ties for the longest in postseason, a single postseason all time. The ERA, microscopic. The runs per game. And if you go back to September 23rd, they won 18 of 20 in their best 20-game stretch since they came to DC in 05. Good at bat here by Suzuki.
See, with that curveball, he's trying to slow the hitter down, and then he tries to speed him up with the fastball. So he uses that breaking ball as a mechanism to, again, try to mess with the timing. But the Nationals have been so good at not overswinging, expanding the zone. They've been stingy.
Another 2-2. Got him looking. Greinke wins that battle and gets his first strikeout of the night.
Well, that's the paint fastball inside. Bunch of foul balls. And then he just locks him up.
Maybe you saw Zach Greinke yelling for Alex Bregman. He said, hey, pay attention to the bunt. Well, on deck is Anibal Sanchez. Robles is up there to swing. One for 7 in this series, strike one. "22 years old, made a leaping catch in center back in the first on a ball hit by Altuve that saved a run.
I don't think Greinke will want to mess with curveballs against Robles. Better on curveballs than sliders.
Ball one.
As Robles matures as a hitter, he'll have to stop chasing as much when he's ahead in the count, meaning an aggressive style hitter lets the pitcher get back in the count by chasing balls out of the zone.
Hard hit. Bregman. Altuve, a double play. Well turned by the Houston defense. 5-4-3. Greinke gets around the back-to-back hits to start the inning. 1-0 Houston after. Third inning rolls in, game 3. To the plate is Jose Altuve. Anibal Sanchez gave up a run last inning. And that's fair. Past third down the line. Altuve will dig for 2, and he will hold and now go as Soto has trouble down the line, and standing at third is Altuve, who was watching it the whole way.
Great job by Altuve, not assuming that it was just a surefire double and the ball rattled around in a corner in a tough spot. And that is a big base with nobody out on third. He hooks this breaking ball right past Rendon, one of the best third basemen in all of baseball. And watch this ball just hug the corner, and as he goes to look up and field it at the same time, the ball goes under his glove, and great base running by Altuve.
Batter now is Brantley. Strike. Dave Martinez, the manager of the Washington Nationals, is listening to everything we say up here. Thank you for joining us. We will not keep you long, but what do you see so far from Anibal Sanchez?
Oh, he's throwing the ball well. He's mixing in all his pitches. Altuve just hit a pretty good pitch right there. You know, like I said, as long as he's throwing strike one and getting ahead, he'll be fine.
Was he, or were you, or Paul worried about the 2-week layoff after that brilliant start he had in the NLCS?
No, you know, he's done that before, where he missed about 10 days, 11 days. But he looks good. I mean, he looks really good. You know, Anibal, he's one of the guys that throws every single day, and he's working on stuff every day. So I'm never concerned about his layoff.
Here's one off his glove. A run scores. It's 2-0 Houston here in the third inning, and I won't keep you long. The last question I'll ask you, Dave Martinez, is we've had a shot of Max Scherzer down in your dugout. In the right situation, could he be available tonight?
Hey, you never know. We'll see how the game plays out. You know, right now we got to get back in here and put some runs on the board.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the time.
All right.
Dave Martinez, who has done such a job with this team, winning 18 out of 20, leading this World Series 2-0. But the Astros lead tonight 2-0 in the third. Here is Bregman, and that's a ball outside. It goes down, by the way, as a hit for Brantley after the double and the error by Soto for Altuve, and Altuve scores on that infield hit.
Well, the Astros have looked like they're going to be a little more aggressive, selectively going after pitches.
A Ball and a strike now on Bregman.
They're so notorious for just burning up the pitch count, and they did it really in game 1 and game 2. They made Scherzer and Strasburg work for every single thing, and what an incredible job when you talk about Max Scherzer, whether or not he's available tonight. His job that he did in game 1, I think, set the tone for this series, and that team always feels like when Max is out there, he's giving everything he has, and that night could have easily been 6, 7 runs against them, and he held them to the 2 that he gave up in the first.
There goes the runner, Brantley, and a foul off the bat of Bregman. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hit and run, it appears, was on. And Bregman could not put it into play. As Gary Pettis goes through the signs over at third. That's hit in the air to left center field, sending Robles back. Out number 1, and Brantley still at first. Chevrolet is the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and the brand to earn the most J.D. Power Quality Awards across cars, trucks, and SUVs over the last 4 years.
Here we are.
This would be a tough matchup for Sanchez. This guy, Gurriel, is locked in right now. He did not have many results for the balls that he was hitting hard in the previous series, but he's starting to check in.
No.
Ball 1 inside to Gurriel. Hit it hard, but lined to right, caught by Eaton his first time up.
The ball will go to right and right center in this ballpark. You want to keep it obviously in the middle part of the park. It's really big, and we've already seen what Robles can do. But a fair ballpark.
Popped into center for Robles. 1 on, 2 down. And the batter will be Correa. Carlos doubled and scored his first time up. Coming into this ball game for the Nationals, their postseason starting pitching ERA 2.23. They have a 1-gamer against Milwaukee, 5 against the Dodgers, 4-game sweep against St. Louis, and through 2 games of this World Series.
Yeah, what they did against the powerful Dodgers offense, I mean, they held them in check.
There goes Brantley. Pitch was down. Throw is late. And a stolen base for Michael Brantley.
As soon as his hip turns, you got to go, and Brantley, with 2 outs, taking advantage of it.
As you said, that's because of the presence of Sanchez on the mound. Brantley doesn't run a ton. He stole 3 bases during the regular season. That's his first attempt this postseason. Better RBI chance for Correa.
Ball.
1 ball, 2, 2-0. Looked like a pretty good pitch.
It was a really good pitch, and Correa was fooled and left it alone, and it looked like it caught the strike zone.
Now a 2-0. That's a foul ball. 2-1. We keep talking about birthday for Juan Soto. He just became the 6th player to make an error on his birthday in the World Series, the last to do it, John. Rafael Belliard in the '95 World Series Game 3.
He didn't make many, period. So
on his 34th birthday. Here's one that is just inside, 3-1. Leadoff double by Altuve, went to third on that error and scored on a ball hit by Brantley off the glove of Sanchez. Stayed on the infield. It's 2-0, a chance for another with 2 out. Full count.
Correa obviously looking for something other than a fastball. 3-1.
And he struck him out. Strikeout number 2 for Sanchez. But run number 2 for Houston. We're in D.C. Game 3. Houston up 2-0. 9-1 and 2 hitters for Washington, down by 2 now. As Altuve got it going, scored on a hit by Brantley. Here is Zach Greinke. Got around back-to-back hits to start the second and a 2-out double back in the first. He deals high to Anibal Sanchez. Pretty good story, Ken Rosenthal, about how he ends up here in the front end of a 2-year deal.
Joe, it was less than 18 months ago that the Twins released Sanchez during spring training. A few days later, he signs with the Braves. His first start for them in spring training against the Astros, the defending World Series champion Astros at the time. Sanchez pitched 4 strong innings against them, made 1 more start for the Braves in spring training, then was added to the roster, had a great year for the Braves last year, then signed a 2-year, $19 million free agent contract with the Nationals, and here he is back in the World Series.
Twirled a gem in game 1 of the NLCS. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That's a strike.
Greinke kind of hangs with that knee and then looks effortless going down, but he has to get down through that leg and finish because he's leaving the baseball up more than we've seen him do it. I know the Astros like to get him to pitch up a little more, but he needs to start pounding the strike zone with that fastball to make the other pitches. There's that hang right there. He got a short arm delivery, and then he just kind of pauses and goes down through the ball.
Pretty good swing right on it, but fouled it back. Sanchez had 6 hits during the regular season, 0 for 5 so far this postseason. And how about these 3 guys? Sanchez on the left, Max Scherzer in the middle, Justin Verlander on the right. Back with the Tigers between parts of 2012 through 2014. They were teammates. Heavily involved in this series, and Sanchez, a foul tip hung on to by Chirinos, 1 down. Earlier tonight, legendary astronaut Dr. Colonel Buzz Aldrin threw out the ceremonial first pitch on behalf of YouTube TV. He stepped on the mound just as he did on the moon 50 years ago with the Apollo 11 crew. With 1 out, back to the top of the order, Turner takes a strike. Trey hit the ball hard, fly to left, deep left, his first time up.
You got to get him out of the way. Anything over the middle of the plate is power in.
He's got power, he can run. That was away and fouled back. He missed 40 games because of that fracture at the base of his right index finger. But he ended up hitting 19 home runs, which tied his career high. Hit just under 300 without the use of all 10 fingers. He had to relearn how to throw the baseball without that right index finger. Really good young player. Here's the 0-2. Back in game one, he stole a base right out of the gate, and Taco Bell back with steal a base, steal a taco. Means everybody in America gets a free Doritos Locos taco thanks to Trey Turner. Stop by Taco Bell on October 30th from 2 to 6 p.m. to steal yours.
That's anywhere, right?
Anywhere. Another 0-2. Ball one. Zach Greinke is on his own clock. 2-2.
If you're going to grunt on your fastball, you want to grunt on your changeup because you don't want them to think it's anything different. And he works hard at that changeup. I call it a power changeup with only about 3 miles an hour at times off of his fastball, but the movement is what he's wanting the hitter to pound in the ground.
Now.
So now the fastball misses. That's interesting because typically when you hear about a guy tipping his pitches, it's something he's doing with his glove. But in this case, it's the grunt. You grunt on the fastball, you have to give it the same noise on your changeup.
Yeah.
Crowd back in it. 3-2 pitch to Trey Turner on its way. Foul. Greinke used to have the luxury of more velocity.
Yeah.
He's had to adapt to a fastball that's 91, 92 as opposed to a few more.
He'll cut it, he'll sink it, occasionally ride it up.
Another 3-2. Hard hit, base hit into left.
A.J. Hinch, you know how important this game is, and he'll be watching the at-bats that the Nationals have off of Greinke. He will not stay longer than he needs to because he needs this game. You think about it from their standpoint. You win this game, you're guaranteed a Garrett Cole outing. And so no matter what happens in this game, he'll use every resource he has to win this game so that Garrett could pitch, which therefore in turn might mean Verlander gets to pitch. And you see where the series is after game 5.
Here's Adam Eaton.
Now.
A ball outside. Tom Verducci. Pretty good at bat by Trey Turner there, and a hit on a 3-2 pitch.
Well, Joe, it's been the story in this postseason. The inability of the Houston pitchers to get strike 3 on these Washington Nationals hitters. The Nats are hitting .306 in the series with 2 strikes. That's a ridiculous number, especially when you think about this, Joe. Astros pitchers with 2 strike counts this year held hitters to a .144 batting average. That's the 3rd lowest since we started tracking these things back in '88. But if you watch what Trey Turner, how he hit, and you'll watch every pitch of Adam Eaton in the box right now, they just keep their foot on the ground. They take the lower half out of play. Eaton goes to the 2-strike approach from the very first pitch. Kevin Long, the hitting coach, calls this down and ready. Get the foot down early and battle. And they are doing that perfectly in all 3 games in this series.
Yeah, this was a Houston staff that led baseball in strikeouts. But not being able to get that put away pitch so far in this series. Two-0 pitch. 2-1. Those two guys, the best 1-2 punch this year.
Yeah, they're hoping for another turn. Nats fans are hoping they don't get to see them the rest of the year and ever.
Those two are just over the wall in right center, by the way. 3-1 the count on Eaton.
So now if you trust your hitter right here in a 3-1 count, you send your runner. By sending the runner, you got to have a hitter at the plate that doesn't feel like he has to swing at a ball.
And so a check. Ball 4. A single, a walk, and an opportunity here for Washington down by 2. First walk handed out by Greinke. And it brings in Anthony Rendon, who had the most RBIs in baseball this season at 126 in his walk year. A free agent to be.
So good with runners in scoring position on the season. So good on the very first pitch.
One of those guys that manager Dave Martinez said that break after the 4-game sweep before the World Series really helped. Skies one into center for Springer. 2 out. And this inning falls into the lap of Juan Soto.
Soto aggressive on the first pitch, curveball. Runner at second and the base open. Grounded out. So hard to do because, as AJ Hinch pointed out, there's just no one way to get him out. You can't keep going to the well, so you got to move the ball around. Ideally, you'd like to crowd him and get him out inside off the plate.
First and second, 2 out. Ball 1 outside. They call it the Soto shuffle around here when he goes to work in that batter's box. Sometimes it's a little more than others, but he definitely does it to let the guy standing 60 feet 6 inches away know that that batter's box is Soto's and not, in this case, Greinke's. Right on top of the plate. Ball.
And what's great about it from a young player standpoint is the fact that he wants to exude, I'm confident and I think I'm better than what you've got to give me. And the pitcher's job is to have the opposite feeling, right? I'm better than you. Somebody has the edge between the pitcher and hitter matchup, and they know it, and they just don't want to show the other guy that they may not have as good a chance to succeed.
Well, he's got everybody's attention on the Astros side, especially after what he did back in Game 1. That opposite field home run leading off the 4th to tie that game. That catches the inside corner. 2-1.
That's where you got to put it. And if you can get that call, then you start making him conscious in there, and you can cut a ball in on his hands or sweep the slider down at his back foot. A 2-0 count, and he absolutely dotted. Well, maybe, but got the call.
runs him out of there with ball 3.
He's on the plate. You got to make him aware that you're not afraid to go in there. It's a 3-1 count with Zimmerman on deck. I'm sorry, with Cabrera on deck. If I had to guess, this would be a 3-1 changeup. Seeing if you can get a more aggressive Soto, put this ball on the ground or swing and miss.
Instead, a 3-1 fastball taken for strike 2.
He went right back to the fastball, and that really was right down the middle. So maybe everybody was expecting a changeup,
including Soto. Runners will go. 3-2 pitch. Instead, Greinke wants to make sure they don't leave too soon. Here it is, ball 4 to load him up. A single, 2 walks in the inning, and the batter will be Asdrubal Cabrera, who got the start because of numbers like these. His career against Zach Greinke. 447 with 4 extra base hits. And here's what Cabrera did back in the second.
Took a curveball, even though it was up the end of the bat, stayed back long enough to serve it into the outfield for a hit. One of those again, the game will be tied. The Astros have not been as good, obviously, as the Nationals with running in scoring position, but the Nationals have been extraordinary with 2 outs, scoring runs in the postseason at a high rate, and those are backbreaker runs when you get them with 2 outs.
They're at 50% for this postseason. 31 of the 62 runs they've scored have come with 2 down. Talking to Dave Martinez about this start for Cabrera, who didn't begin the year with the Nationals. He said they're just certain guys that see Greinke well. Cabrera's one of them. The 1-0. Knee high on the outside corner, a ball and a strike.
He's been great with them since he got here on runners in scoring position, and he's been outstanding with the bases loaded. He just saw a dotted up fastball on the outside part of the plate that he wanted no part of.
One. That's strike 2.
So there's the perfect example of the new Greinke. You saw that nothing was other than on the corners. So he established away with the fastball paint, in with the fastball paint, and now he's made him aware of both sides of the plate, and he can do whatever he wants on this 1-2 pitch. If he wants to go to his changeup, his slider, without max velocity, that's how you can pitch and get soft contact.
Asdrubal Cabrera joined the Nationals on August 6th. Drove in 40 runs the rest of the way. 1-2 pitch is popped down the line. Foul ball and out of play. And those 40 RBIs during that stretch tied for third in the National League. Mike Rizzo, the general manager of this Nationals franchise and the head of their baseball operations, has added so many pieces, and it's all just come together down the stretch. In the month of October, up 2-0, down 2-zip here, looking for a 2-out hit. What a pitch! Greinke gets out of it with a strikeout of Asdrubal Cabrera. And now the Nationals have left 5 as they leave the bases loaded. 2-0 Houston after in bottom 3 in the lineup for Houston. That means Reddick, who has an RBI single, his first hit of this World Series, just his 4th of the postseason, and he knocked home his 2nd run.
Ball.
That's outside, 2-0. That's ball 3.
7, 8, 9. You don't want to give Greinke another opportunity to bunt.
Hey, 3-1.
So somehow get back in this account, make this count where Reddick has got to put it in play, and if he gets on base putting it in play, way better than a walk.
Reddick's looking to blast one here, and he gets under it, pops it up left side. Rendon over to grab it. One away in the 4th. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by the strongest, most advanced family of Silverados ever, and by Indeed, the world's #1 job site.
From all of us on the International Space Station, as we prepare to send the first woman and the next man to the surface of the moon, we say we are proud to be from Houston, home of the Astronaut Corps. Enjoy the game.
That's great. Here is a ball into Robinson Chirinos. NASA astronauts Drew Morgan, Christina Cook, and Jessica Meir are aboard the International Space Station and send us that greeting from out in space. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Fouled by Chirinos. A ball and a strike. Base hit in the 2nd. Put runners on at the corners for Greinke, who bunted. Advance the runners to 2nd and 3rd for Springer, who then grounded out. Back here, and that's strike 2.
Chirinos has a lot of success. Talked about his .571 coming in against Sanchez, and that just went up.
Just his 3rd hit of the postseason. He was happy to see Sanchez roll in there here for game 3. A matchup tomorrow, as it stands now, of Jose Urquidy and Patrick Corbin. That's high, 2-2. That's who A.J. Hinch plans on starting. He told us about 90% sure it's going to be Urquidy, but it's all dependent on how the rest of this game goes. As you said last inning, John, A.J. Hinch, if he's got a chance to win tonight, will use every weapon he has. 2 out, and strikeout number 3 for Anibal Sanchez. And Greinke will come up and swing the bat.
These are fun at bats for pitchers, especially this time of the year, and Greinke, of course, familiar with swinging the bat. You got nothing to lose. You want to go deep. You want to swing Every swing is to try to hit a home run so you can jog in this situation. 2 outs, nobody on.
He's got the ability. Takes a ball low. I said earlier, 9 career home runs, 3 this year. And a career .225 hitter. Slugged .580 this season. That is hit hard with foul. So that's part of the attack that Greinke brings. Doesn't get a chance to use it very much anymore now over in the American League. Came up with the Royals. He has starred with the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, now Houston, and he is trying to launch, and that's foul, strike 2.
Well, this won't. I wouldn't think this is going to be a fastball here, but Greinke was up there ready. He pulled 2 of them foul. How about that? Joe Blatt. Last one.
I remember it well. 1-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That was for the world champion Phillies. They got back in 09. Greinke trying to add his name to that list. And he strikes out. 4 on the night for Sanchez. A smile from Zach Greinke. 2-0 Houston after 3.5. 3 are tied with 10, I'm told. As Ryan Zimmerman takes a strike, and we're underway in the bottom of the 4th inning. Saw Yuli Gurriel. He's on that list with 10. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Ryan Zimmerman is 1 for 1 with a single into left, his first time up. And quickly in the hole, 0-2.
Of course, the National League rules, the managers will have tough decisions on when to pinch hit for their pitcher, not based on how they're pitching, but based on run scoring opportunities, if it should come to that. Of course, the Nationals are in a nice position having a 2-game lead. It's a little bit more of a issue for AJ, being down 2 games to none.
But the good news for AJ Hinch, that is ball 1, and umpires don't like it when catchers like Chirinos pops up. Looks like he's going to throw it around the horn, and nothing said, just a glare through the mask from Gary Cederstrom as that was called ball 1. And the reaction from AJ Hinch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's hit down the line. It is foul. Into the corner, hooking all the way, and just ran out of steam.
He's lucky to have that one back.
One-two here from Greinke. Is down 2-2. It's Zimmerman, then Suzuki, then Robles. I was going to say the good news for AJ Hinch is Greinke just made the last out of the top of this 4th inning, so the pitcher spot is cleared. He can do what he wants depending on how these next outs go. That's inside. And the count 3-2.
I've seen this theme a lot. 0-2, 3-2, and now Greinke has to make a great pitch. He thought he made that great pitch when it was 0-2 and didn't get the call.
A walk starts the 4th. Walk 2 in the 3rd, got around it. And now a leadoff walk to Zimmerman here in the 4th inning with Suzuki coming up. 36-year-old Kurt Suzuki dealing with 36-year-old Zach Greinke.
Good fastball hitter. We saw him take that fastball, Justin Verlander, for the go-ahead home run. And Greinke here again. You're trying to induce a ground ball. Maybe first pitch slider and see if you can get Suzuki to hit it to the left side of the infield.
Over the top of that pitch, strike one. That's strike two.
That should be a new number. So his variety of miles per hour on pitches.
It's just an over-the-top hook that drops in at 70 miles per hour. Suzuki waits and strikes out. So Greinke follows the walk with a strikeout and now has struck out 4 tonight. Suzuki twice.
Changeup, curveball, changeup. And a good fastball hitter never got a chance to see the fastball. And those were the two best changeups of the night. I mean, it had tremendous arm speed, but great depth to it. Bottom fell out of both of them.
And here's what you talk about with regard to decision time. Here's Robles, the number 8 hitter. Pitcher is on deck. 1 on, 1 out. Action for Washington in their bullpen. That is fair. Past third. Past Bregman. Digging for third, Zimmerman. They bring him around. And in on a triple to make it 2-1 here in the 4th.
Unfortunately, Brantley thinks it's going to hit the cutout right here, and it never even came close to it. And he took a bad angle, so when he took the angle, that ball gets by him, and an easy run-producing opportunity for Zimmerman and a triple for Robles.
RBI triple. Infield comes in. Sanchez stays in the ball game, and it's 2-1.
So this is the situation we were talking about, the patience of leaving in a guy down by 1. Most people would tell you, you put a guy up there, tie the game, and get somebody else in.
The bunt attempt. The safety squeeze variety, if even that. The infield is in. Robles was not coming down the line. And that's strike one. Right-hander James gets loose. Josh working game 2. A 1 pitch. Strike 2.
Well, Greinke feels more comfortable on the windup, but a runner on third, less than 2 outs, and a pitcher at the plate, or anybody for that matter, typically you wouldn't want the runner to get a good secondary opportunity with the lead out of the windup, but you want to make your best pitches too, and he feels like his best pitches will come out of the windup.
Field is in, 1 out, 0-2 pitch. Now he shows bunt and bunts it foul and strikes out, screaming at himself. 2 out. And back to the top of the order in Trey Turner. 1 for 2 in this ball game. Could tie it with a hit.
Managing is tough, and there'll be a lot of people want to question Davey Martinez on being able to pinch hit right there with a hitter that the opportunity to score with contact would be a lot greater, obviously, than your pitcher. But at a 2-1 score, he feels like his pitcher can eat up a few more innings and keep it right there with a chance for a 2-out hit by Turner.
That's out in front of the plate. Greinke made the play, and it was not easy, but the Nationals are on the board here in Game 3. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left, 2-1 after 4. Back after this from your local Fox station. Series title was in 24. Their last appearance in the World Series 86 years ago. The Senators go to Texas. Nationals inaugural season 05, and then here's Washington back in the World Series. This franchise starting in Montreal and moving here in 05. Started as an expansion team with the Expos in '69. Hard hit, ground ball off the bat of Springer, slams his bat down as Turner takes care of him. One away here in the 5th inning. Tom Verducci, take it away.
Yeah, that last game here, 1933 World Series game, was a 10-inning game. There's Joe Cronin, the player manager of the Senators at the time, just 26 years old. Joe, pay attention to that time of game there. 2:38. It was a 10-inning game. Mel Ott won it for the Giants with a home run in the top of the 10th inning. Until tonight, that was the last World Series game played here in Washington. I love the headline of the Washington Post. Cronin eludes mob of women.
Here's Altuve, takes a ball high. First of all, the TV breaks were shorter back in those days.
Yeah, one more note about that. You know, the Senators obviously came back here in 1961. Bob Short bought the expansion Senators. Ted Williams was the manager, and instrumental in that team as the legal counsel, actually convinced Ted Williams to manage the team, was a man by the name of Stanley Bregman. That is the grandfather of Alex Bregman.
Such a great twist to this series.
And Alex told me he can only imagine what his dad, who was a huge baseball fan, a real fixture here in politics and law in the D.C. area, what his dad might be thinking to see his grandson playing in the World Series.
Here's one into left by Altuve, a one-out hit, and we'll see Altuve end up at second with a double. Go ahead, Tom, finish.
Stanley Bregman passed away in 2014. You know, it's interesting. Alex set the New Mexico high school record with 19 home runs. His grandfather, he said, was there for every single one of them. There's Alex and Stanley Bregman. And he said he keeps the voicemail messages on his phone to listen to his grandfather's voice.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Tom. And obviously kidding about TV breaks back in the day. It's just a different game. And by the way, player managers were all over the place. That wasn't a rarity, and Cronin, one of the great shortstops of all time. And Hall of Famer, runner at second, 1 out, as Michael Brantley fouls it away after the double by Altuve into left. What a night for Altuve. A pair of doubles, and then he was robbed of an extra base hit and an RBI his first time up on a leaping grab by Victor Robles in center.
He's a hitting machine, and certainly he can get them in bunches. And for Dave Martinez, he's hoping that decision to not pinch hit only works if Sanchez can keep him scoreless and down 1.
Well, Dave Martinez is not racing to get to his bullpen.
Right.
So we're only in the 4th inning at that moment. We're now in the 5th. We said that Scherzer was available. That was the hint that Dave Martinez told us before the game in the right situation. They're good at the very end of their bullpen, but getting there can be tricky. So why not Sanchez?
Now.
But I'm with you. It looks bad, or it looks like the move or the non-move didn't work if Sanchez goes right out and gives up a run.
Right. And the reason I said it is because today managers are asked so many questions based on the numbers and what it looks like for your chance to score. And Dave Martinez knows his team. He knows his pitcher. And it's part of the gig. When you're playing in this situation, runs can be a premium. And so can strikes, because Sanchez wants to know exactly where it was. There have been a few of those questions already. And I'd say that was a pretty good pitch.
So now both pitchers have had reason to question the strike zone or why something was called a ball when it looked to be a strike. It's the crew chief Gary Cederstrom back there here for game 3. Now a 3-1 pitch to Michael Brantley, runner at second, one out. Grounded to and through the right side. They bring Altuve. There is no throw, and the Astros get that run right back. It's 3-1. And Brantley with 2 RBIs here in game 3.
Trusts his hands, no stride, and finds the hole. Sanchez visibly upset, shouting at the umpire after the hit. Hard to put that away as a pitcher when you feel like you made your pitch. It really is. I know it's easier said than done. Just put it, you know, make another pitch, make another pitch. But it's hard at this level and this importance to great hitters to make more pitches than you feel like you have to make.
Now here is Bregman. Focus of that story from Tom Verducci. In the air to left. Back is Soto for out number 2. And just to point out, the pitch that Sanchez didn't get, that he was upset about when Michael Brantley, was a 2-1 pitch.
Right, there's the pitch right there. It changes the count. It changes the way you pitch, and those are 2 that he feels like one of those, if not both, should be. And right there is the base hit.
So the 2-run lead is back. Runner at first. Brantley 2 down for Yuli Gurriel. In for strike 1. Gurriel line to right, fly to center. About to face the 77th pitch of the night from Anibal Sanchez. That floats outside, 1-1. One 1-0 record coming in for Sanchez this postseason over 2 starts. And an ERA of under 1. The Astros have put up 3 runs on 8 hits. There's been 1 error by Washington, that by Soto and left, but that run was still in the earned run category. Runner is going. Pitch is hit off Sanchez to first, a base hit. And Sanchez appears to be okay.
Got him in the glove. He was just awkward in how it got to him.
And the batter will be Correa.
Falls off to that side. You can see it right in the heel of the glove. So difficult, the perception of where that ball is. When you fall over and to the first base side, your head is tilted and you're trying to read the ball off the bat. Always seems like it's hit harder than it is.
Tanner Rainey was up when the Nationals were hitting and got that run in the bottom of the 4th. Bullpen quiet now. Correa takes a ball over the inside corner for a strike. Carlos 1 for 2 with a double, a run scored, and a strikeout. One and one. Average with runners in scoring position this postseason. Tonight, the Astros have clicked it in 4 for 7. That's out of play, strike 2.
And that's what I was saying about break the ice. Somebody get a big hit, feel good about a situation when you're down 2 games to none and you're on the road. You've got to find some continuity to what you do well. And so far for the Astros, they've avoided the big inning by getting a couple outs. Greinke a couple big pitches. That previous inning, easily game could have been tied. They left with the lead. Now they put the run back on the board to get the 2-run lead.
Now.
Just inside. 2-2. And Rainey is back up again.
This one was inside. Cut fastball.
First and second, 2 out, 2-2 pitch. Left side. Turner throws off balance and got the out. Almost mistimed that little leap. Bounced it to Zimmerman, who dug it out. And the inning is over. Astros get a run. Lead by 2. Halfway through game 3. Rolling breaking ball for a strike to Adam Eaton, who doesn't agree, and it's understandable. Eaton, then Rendon, then Soto. 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Astros back up by 2. Eaton 0 for 1 with a walk. Nothing in 2. StatCast AI is powered by AWS. And we've seen him go the other way a couple of times already in this World Series.
He also can work that pitch count in the at-bat. Known for 8 pitch at-bats or more.
And he goes the other way for a leadoff base hit. Boy, he can handle the bat. Right between Correa and Bregman, and on to start the 5th. And that'll bring in Rendon.
Power when he needs it, pest when he needs it. Pest is a compliment, because what he does is make it very difficult for pitchers to get him out with real good pitches when a guy makes contact. And certainly you saw that spray chart. You can't defend him one way or another because he's hitting it all over the place.
Here's Rendon, serenaded with MVP chants. Free agent to be, waits. And gets under it. Shallow left, Correa out. Called off by Brantley, 1 away. And that'll bring in the birthday man, Juan Soto.
Happy birthday, Soto.
This kid's unbelievable.
Feliz cumpleaños, Soto.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Juan.
At 21 years old, you're not supposed to do that in the big leagues.
Happy birthday to me.
That big smile and a star certainly in game 1 of this World Series, and now representing the tying run here in the 5th inning of game 3.
Yeah, and what he's done is getting closer to the plate, a little more closer than normal. Again, trying to take away what Greinke does well. And so far in the second at bat, he was really careful and worked a walk.
Takes his time digging his way into the batter's box. These two have been, well, one's been stepping out and one's been stepping off in their 2 previous battles in this game. That is a ball, as Chirinos came up and gave a look down at Eden at first. Alex Bregman about even with a bag and way off the line at third. And here we go again. Soto steps out. That's foul. And it looks like, and it will get out of play.
This kid is well documented now in the whole world to know how good he is. He stays on the changeup. He stays on the curveball. He hits the sinker. You basically are limited in how to get him out. You can't just pitch him one way. You got to get the quadrants differently. Get him out with 2 strikes, possibly inside off the plate.
Wow, what a rip. And that's the scouting report that A.J. Hinch and this pitching staff was given. You cannot just get him out in one spot. He wanted that one and fouled it away.
By getting on the plate, that outside pitch looks better to him.
He had no problem with the outside pitch against Garrett Cole. Check on the runner Eaton, who's back to the bag with 1 down. Soto.
Now.
2-2.
It's just the way he took it. You know, it just don't see guys with this kind of awareness. 2 strikes and not getting excited. One thing I can say is the teams that are here offensively, I haven't really seen anybody expand or get out of their game from a nerve standpoint or get away from their discipline, what makes them good. Sometimes you can swing a little too hard, but not chasing a ton of pitches.
That bounces in. And it's a full count.
Regular season, guys don't treat every game like this, and you can understand why. It's a long season, 162 games. You're not facing elite pitching every night, or you're not facing the kind of pitching we've seen in this postseason. So the attention to detail is magnified for the elite players.
Soto strikes out. And the 36-year-old Zach Greinke fooled the 21-year-old Soto for out number 2.
Tell you what, it takes guts to throw these pitches, especially when some of them have been hit foul for homers and some of them have had good rips. He throws an absolute gem. The reason that was such a good pitch, the entire time he threw that ball, it stayed in the strike zone. The entire time until the end. Soto shows that frustration.
Leadoff hit by Eaton. He's now at first with 2 out for his Asdrubal Cabrera, who had a big at bat in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded, 2 out and struck out. That's strike 1. A little bit of a grimace after that swing by Asdrubal Cabrera. Let's take a look. Grab up toward the left trap. A 1 pitch.
Ball.
1 ball, 1 strike. Josh James has been up for Houston in their bullpen if they need him. He popped up for the 2nd time after that leadoff hit by Eaton. He's ready to go if A.J. Hinch wants to go that direction. Right now the 1-1 pitch.
Ball.
Outside, ball 2.
Well, Zach hasn't exactly been an innings eater in the postseason, and if he can get through this, that would actually be big for AJ. And Whether or not he sends him back out will be determined, but he'd love to have the discussion or the decision by getting the third out here.
31 pitch, third inning. Nationals didn't score that frame. Now he's run the count 3-1 on Cabrera.
So when you're watching at home, here's what you're looking at as a hitter at the plate. Here's the fastball, right? The fastball's coming out, and then there's the curveball, and it hasn't shown up yet because it's so slow compared to the fastball. If you don't stay back, no chance you can hit that pitch. Look at the variance of speed, 89 miles an hour to 70 miles an hour. And that's why Zach Greinke's still pitching the way he can, minus the high velocity fastball.
Cabrera looking for a pitch to hammer on 3-1. He does. Into right. It is off the base of the wall. Eaton is going to be held at third on a double by Asdrubal Cabrera.
Reddick makes a great play here. This ball was hit so hard. Watch it bounce off the wall. And of course, with 2 outs, good speed. This ball hits the wall and a good bounce right to Reddick. He throws the ball right in for a good relay, and there's no way, even with 2 outs, could they score that. In another game where Greinke's not able to get through the 5th.
Greinke KO'd with that double. Second and third. 2 out. James coming in. Zimmerman coming up. Live from Columbus, Ohio, only on Fox.
Zimmerman handles the fastball down, opposite field power as well. And James can deliver it north of 98 miles an hour with a slider, as I would think he would be looking to try to throw a slider first pitch.
Zimmerman could tie it with a base hit. And there it is. Gets the high strike on top of it. 0-1.
Don't want to throw it there, but it's virtually unhittable when you're trying to protect against 98. He wants this down in the lower quadrant of the box, not in the upper part. He'll take it for strike 1. But that was not the intent of that pitch to be thrown there.
James steps off. Greinke went 4 2/3. 1 run, responsible for the runners at second and third. 7 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 95 pitches. Here's the 0-1. Zimmerman takes a strike on a tailing 97-mile-an-hour fastball. 0-2.
Nothing he can do with either of these pitches. So as a hitter, you just got to stay patient and hope that he doesn't throw a third anywhere close to those 2 spots.
The 0-2 spins him out of there. And Zimmerman went down hard. They're going to come check on him. And he's going to send them back. But not going to get his wish. They got to look at him after that.
Well, you're going to see what 98 unfortunately gets up there. You never want to see it near a guy's head, but that is a tough read for a pitcher who's trying to protect with 2 strikes. And the ball comes whistling up and in. He's just thanking his stars right there. Lucky stars.
He digs back in.
If there's ever time to throw a nasty slider, now would be it.
Instead, 97 rides up and in. 2-2. Josh James worked one full inning in game 2 and allowed 3 runs on a couple of hits. Trying to keep Houston on top. Zimmerman just got a piece.
Has kind of been a reverse game in of the first 2 games, where the Astros had runners on, couldn't get the big hit. The Nationals have had a bunch of runners on in this game.
They've stranded 6. "15 years he's been with the Washington Nationals. Their first pick in 05. It's said over and over again, but he is their top guy in franchise history in hits, homers, RBIs, 2-time All-Star, Gold Glove Award winner, and now out to talk is Chirinos to Josh James. Correa comes in, and now for good measure Brent Strom will come out of the dugout. So they'll talk about it before a 2-2 pitch, and we'll give you a quick word from Evan Williams.
Get ready for the next pitch with Evan Williams, bourbon done right.
Yeah, if you're going to have a mound visit, might as well have the pitching coach go out there and make the most of it, since there's only 6 that we're getting in a game.
Zimmerman
Nope.
takes ball 3. First base open. Suzuki next. Bullpen quiet for Houston. Struck him out. And now Washington has gone 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position in this game 3. They've stranded 8. Astros lead by 2. You like the power to do. And by T-Mobile, its newest signal is more powerful, more reliable, and goes farther than ever. And it's built 5G ready. Here's one into right on the first pitch of the inning. Eaton dives for the catch. Reddick hits it hard into right, and Adam Eaton chased it down and made a dive and gets the out. That's how the 6th begins.
This ball's hooking away from Eaton, and he gets there just in plenty of time. He gets it right at the end of his glove.
And Sanchez appreciates the effort. Now Chirinos. If you got Chirinos up in the pitcher's spot, that would be James, and the right-hander Peacock getting ready for Houston in their pen. That's hammered down the line. If it's fair, it's gone. It is. Chirinos has gone deep, and he's added to the lead. Biggest lead of the night. It's now 4-1 as he bangs the foul pole in left.
It's unbelievable sometimes when you just see a pitch from a pitcher. You've got his number, and Chirinos has the number of Sanchez. Hadn't done much this postseason, but Already 2 more hits against what is now becoming Sanchez's nemesis.
And off the netting to the right of the left field foul pole to give the Astros their biggest lead of Game 3. Kyle Tucker will dig in. Looking to launch, and he chops one foul right side, strike 1. Tucker so far 1 for 2 in this World Series. Singled in that 5-4 loss in Game 1 back in Houston for the Astros, and then was retired in Game 2. Chirinos with his second home run of this postseason. His second hit of the night, and only his 4th hit of the postseason.
4 pitches, 4 swings. Astros getting aggressive. Last inning for Sanchez.
Here's the 0-2 pitch.
Nope.
That's down. Sanchez due up 3rd for the Nationals in the bottom of the inning. Reddick lined out. Chirinos homered, and now Tucker stays up there 1-2. Fouled away. Well, that home run was crunched. A.J. Hinch has had to go to his bullpen. He called on Josh James to get the final out a moment ago in the bottom of the 5th, and he struck out Zimmerman. Now a ball misses down and away, 2-2 on Tucker. Now a 2-2.
Nope.
Full count.
Tucker hunts fastballs. You saw his big long swing. He tries to keep the barrel of the bat in the zone as much as possible, but he's definitely hunting fastballs. Cannot give in 3-2 and throw him a fastball here, I don't believe.
4 big league home runs this year at the end of the year after a monster year with power at AAA, and he draws a walk. And we'll see if that's it for Sanchez. Here's the homer.
Yeah, the only question at that point was whether it was going to stay fair or not. It had the distance.
And now after the first walk of the night, that's going to be it for Anibal Sanchez. He's been so good this postseason, really all year long, and part of the emotional leadership group for this team. But he is KO'd here in the 6th inning. 4-1, Astros on top in Game 3. Clemente earlier today. Carlos Carrasco was announced as the 2019 Roberto Clemente Award winner for his positive contributions on and off the field, supporting members of his communities in Cleveland, Tampa, and his homeland of Venezuela, and to those around the world. Visit MLBcommunity.org to learn more. Carlos Carrasco has spent his entire 10-year career with the Cleveland Indians. Diagnosed with leukemia this year after starting the year in the rotation, and fought his way through that and came back in September to pitch 11 games in relief. What a great story. Carlos was here and was joined on the field by Luis Clemente, Carlos' wife Carrie, and Rob Manfred, the MLB commissioner. Here's a steal. Ball gets away, and now bouncing up and going to third is Tucker. And with one out, that's big. It'll be a stolen base, then a throwing error on Suzuki. And a runner's at third with only one out here in the 6th inning, and the Astros already up 3.
And that's what the Astros are going to have to do to get back in this series. They've got to put pressure every chance they can on the team that's got them down 2 games.
Ball.
The Nationals have had a hard time holding runners and throwing runners out.
Here's one foul off the end of the bat by Springer. And the count 1 ball 1 strike.
Hey, what Zimmerman did a nice job there. That was a lot of English on that ball. He was taking no chances to see if that ball had a chance to spin back fair. We've seen it a couple times. Heads up play.
As Fernando Rodney checks into the ball game, 42 years old, and I'm sure he's tired of hearing that number. The oldest player in Major League Baseball. Worked a scoreless frame in game 2. His 1-1 swung on and missed at 92 by Springer. 1-2.
See, there's that too big a swing right there. As you see what Rodney's been able to be part of.
And in both leagues, he's been just omnipresent during the postseason.
Fastball changeup.
Infield is in. Runner at third after the steal and the error, and now a foul by Springer, who's 1 for 3 tonight. Led off with a single against Sanchez. Stole second. Not in on the scoring this evening for Houston.
And these are the situations. Pitcher wants to get you out of the zone so he can strike you out. You've got to be able to find the barrel of the bat to the ball and make contact.
Here's another 1-2. Blocked by Suzuki.
Because even if the contact is hit at a fielder, there's no guarantee the ball's not going to take a bad hop or it's going to make the play. And if you swing and miss, there's a guarantee that the runner's not going to score unless the ball gets by the catcher somehow.
Crowd trying to help Fernando Rodney along to get this out. The red hot Altuve on deck. 2-2. Fouled back here. There's Altuve. Could easily be 3 for 3 with 3 extra base hits. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles and 2 runs scored. Chirinos with a home run in this 6th. 2-2.
Now.
Great job so far by Springer not expanding down. That was the hardest pitch he would have had to stay off of.
Full count pitch. Bounces in. Good job by Suzuki to avoid a wild pitch, and it's ball 4.
See, those are the at-bats that nobody talks about, and they go a little unnoticed unless the guys behind you can do their job. That was a great at-bat. After getting to 2 strikes and not doing anything other than buckling down and working a walk, and you basically say the guy behind you, high likelihood he's going to get the ball in play and the runner in.
First AL second baseman with 2 doubles and 2 runs in a World Series game since 1910. And now they're going to come out and check on Kurt Suzuki. And he's not telling them to go away.
Paul Lassard, the trainer, coming out a few times already. And this ball, you see it catches him right kind of in the bicep, it looked like. Maybe his hand.
He's going to stay in. And here's the guy Houston wants. About to dig in.
Well, tough spot because it's hard to turn two, so they got to play the infield kind of halfway in and hope that he makes contact with one of them and they can cut the runner down at home if they decide to send the runner on contact, which is more than likely the case.
Rodney in a tight spot. Gets a strike at 94 miles per hour to Altuve. Drove in 74 runs during the regular season. His time with a bad hamstring and was still not right with his surgically repaired right knee early. Here's a foul with Springer taking off for second. It's 0-2. Something Ken Rosenthal talked about earlier in the postseason. Had a procedure on his right knee. That knee he uses to drive off when he's hitting. It wasn't totally stable at the beginning of the year. Then he missed time with a bad hamstring. And that allowed him to work on the strength of that right knee. He came back and he started to look like Jose Altuve again. One of the best hitters in baseball. There he goes, Springer, and I don't know how that missed Altuve. Looked like it went right through him. Ball one inside. And it's a steal for George Springer, his second of the night.
There's the changeup. He just goes off his hands and
might have clipped his jersey.
He don't want to say nothing. He wants to hit.
Yep.
He wants to hit. What if Davey Martinez challenged it?
To intentionally put him on, in essence. He wants to hit. 1-2 pitch, and he chops to third. Rendon comes home. Tucker caught in the rundown, and now tagged out, but does a good enough job to get the runners back to second and third in the end, 2 out. Once he was caught, his job was to make that last long enough for Altuve to get to second, and he did.
Little surprise with second and third right there. The ball is right in front of Tucker. Now it ended up still being second and third, but
now they'll walk Brantley and pitch to Bregman.
You don't think he likes this, do you?
Well, he holds those 4 fingers out all the time. Like, yeah, you should have walked me. Well, they walk Brantley to get to the cleanup man, Alex Bregman. And if you know Alex Bregman at all, this will be taken as motivation, even more so in this at bat, as an insult to get him to the plate. He has struggled. It has not been a good postseason. And he pops it up foul right side. Strike one. Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, the Astros were kind of goading on Bregman there, yelling, no respect, no respect. He won't want to hear that.
They were trying to get his mind to lock in, obviously, when they're making those comments. But mechanically, he hasn't locked in, and that's been part of the reason why he's struggled.
Had an MVP type regular season. Takes a low. He said after game 1, I've been terrible this postseason. The numbers aren't good with runners on, with runners in scoring position. But he did pop 41 home runs. He has 2 this postseason, including 1 in game 2. 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position is Bregman. What a chance here. A 1-1. Chopped to Turner, and they flip for the out. Bregman grounds into the force out, and the strategy works. Rodney, a good job to avoid further damage. Some delivered by Chirinos. A home run in the inning, and it's 4-1 Houston. Started the year with the Giants, came to the Nationals Was in a slump, not feeling good at the plate, changed his walk-up song to that for his 2-year-old baby girl.
Ball.
And those in attendance took right to it. He takes a ball outside as Parra leads off and hits for Suzuki. And it has started a craze here with the Nationals fans. That's outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Brad Peacock takes over for Josh James, who relieved in the 5th. Greinke went the first 4 2/3. Third game of the postseason for Peacock. 2-0 to Parra.
Well, this crowd has been begging to get back in this game. Maybe this is the start of it.
That's fouled away. Not only has it become a thing in this park and a rally cry in essence for the Nationals, but the final day off before the World Series began, Gerardo Parra visited Children's Hospital here in the DC area and handed out baby shark toys and took pictures with kids. Right now he's concentrating on trying to get a hit or get on base any way he can. The count has run full 3-2. Time call. Parra, as I said, hitting for Suzuki. Remember, in the top of the inning, they checked on him after he blocked a ball in the dirt. So whether this is just a strategic move or something happened with Suzuki, we'll try to find out. A strikeout starts the inning. And Parra goes back to the dugout. Authentic on-field caps, tees, jerseys, hoodies, and more. Get all your Astros and Nationals World Series gear and celebrate with your team at the official source, MLBshop.com. The batter will be Robles. 1 for 2 tonight. RBI triple his last time up.
That triple with 1 out. And Sanchez coming up to the plate.
In for a strike from Peacock.
And again, that'll be some of the questions that every manager has to answer to why or what was your thinking. That'll be the question. Tying run at third, although be it in the 4th.
Yeah, you wonder if the run doesn't score on that triple. Remember, that ball got hung up in the corner, and it's still a 2-run game.
You're right.
If Dave Martinez goes to a pinch hitter against Greinke there, instead he let Anibal Sanchez hit. He struck out, and then Trey Turner grounded out. So the runner was stranded at third, and the lead remained for the Astros. That added to it since, with a run in the 5th, a run in the 6th, and lead by 3.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That decision was swayed or made a little easier with a run in and 1 out and a man on third. Second and third, I would probably almost guarantee you would have pinch hit in that situation.
Here's a 1-1. That's on the corner, strike 2.
Which will again lead to people questioning if that's the time you were going to pinch hit when a leverage situation to score. They'll ask him why he didn't do it for third. Sanchez wasn't able to put up a 0 in the 5th. And we're now at 4-1.
With 1 out, nobody on, a 1-2 pitch is fouled away. Peacock comes at you with different arm angles. fact, A.J. Hinch described him as semi-sidearm. He's on the list as a possible starter in what figures to be a bullpen type game tomorrow for A.J. Hinch and the Astros. He said he's leaning toward Urquidy getting the start against Patrick Corbin. 1-2 pitch. Skips in there 2-2.
Well, he has that lower three-quarter action, and the ball kind of gets on the hitter quickly, and he got good sweeping action to that breaking ball you just saw. Sneaky quick with the way that he delivers the baseball.
Astros trying to get back into this World Series, down 2-0. That is down, and it's a full count.
Great movement to this two-seam fastball over the heart of the plate, but was called down.
It was full on Parra. He struck out. And now a check swing, didn't go, and it's a 1-out walk to Victor Robles. And Matt Adams will pinch hit. 1 on, 1 out. And we will welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Joe Buck with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. And better tonight for the Astros with runners in scoring position. That's why they're in this spot, up by 3.
Absolutely. Of course, they were favored coming in, and I think that the attention to detail, every at bat, every pitch, they know they had to win this game, and they still have to win this game if they're going to guarantee an opportunity to get back in this series and win this series. Offensively, they've been much better, and they were able to avoid really the kind of tough innings by Greinke making some pitches when the Nationals had a bunch of opportunities to either tie the game or break it open.
Again, you talked about it earlier with regard to where we sit. You've got Urquidy and Corbin, the likely starters tomorrow. The Astros are thinking, just let's get Garrett Cole back out there and try and reset what didn't go well back in Houston through games 1 and 2. Matt Adams digs in, pinch hitting for Rodney. He's got a lot of power.
Well, of course, there's more teams that have had success down 3-1 in winning a series than teams that are down 3-0. That tells you all you need to know about the importance of this game. Only the Boston Red Sox were able to pull off that incredible feat. And not many teams in any sports have had much luck trying to get that done.
Robles takes off, swing and a miss, throw down, too late, and a stolen base for Victor Robles. First of the night for the Nationals. The Astros have stolen 4 bases, and he got a great jump. And a wink for Carlos Correa. Now a hit could make it a 2-run ball game. Oh, 2 pitches inside. Robles has been all over the place. Made that catch leaping in center in the first inning to avoid a run scoring on a ball hit by Altuve. He has an RBI triple. And now a walk and a steal. Here's the 1-2 to Matt Adams. Bounces in, and Chirinos keeps Robles at second.
Really trying to make this change up. Down in the zone, he spikes it. Just turns it over, and then Chirinos does a good job.
Adams fouls it back. 1 for 3 this postseason is Matt. 20 home runs during the regular season, drove home 56. And that's a bad number down at the bottom for Washington. 0 for 8. Runners in scoring position. Astros better tonight than they've been during the first 2 rounds.
Adams struggles with slower breaking balls.
2-2. 94 fouled off the hands. Reminder for tomorrow, game 4 on the year, 7:30 Eastern. Urquidy and Corbin.
A tougher pitch for Peacock is to get that fastball in the inner part of the plate, because he's got to start it at Adams to tie him up. A lot of swings and misses on the inside part of the plate against Adams on fastballs.
Robles takes his lead. Adams trying to chase him home. Down for ball 3. That is 3 full counts on all 3 hitters here in the 6th. Here it is, and ball 4. And with Will Harris getting ready, A.J. Hinch is going to go to him right here. A strikeout, back-to-back walks. Action here in the 6th inning for Washington. The 8th by the Astros. See what the top of the order is done in this 4-1 game. Robles is standing at second at the moment, and the difference in the game is what they've done with runners in scoring position to this point. A chance here for Trey Turner against the right-hander Will Harris. Ball 1.
Well, if the Astros go on to win this game, they will have earned it. There has not been a clean inning yet. You see Will Harris has done a nice job this postseason, but it has been traffic, and a lot of stress pitches for the Astros pitchers.
That's a strike. You think back to the top of this 6th inning when the Astros had runners at the corners and Altuve walking in. They'd already scored a run. It was 4-1. Eventually bases loaded for their cleanup hitter Bregman with 2 out. No further damage. Nationals are in the ball game, and Trey Turner is in the hole, 1-2.
See, Harris can exploit the outside part of the plate because he throws that cutter, that hard cutter, and that's the area where Turner kind of has a little bit of a weak spot, is away on the zone, and then he throws that big curveball off of it.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. I think of all the guys in the bullpen, maybe even Osuna the closer included, I think A.J. Hinch trusts Will Harris above all those arms down there.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 6th, like you said, but it's the heart of the order and where the damage can be done for the Nationals. So you got to stop it right here.
2 walks in the inning, a stolen base mixed in, and A.J. Hinch had Harris ready to go. Here's his 2-2 pitch. Turner just got a piece, and then that ball got a piece of him.
Yeah, not a good spot.
So they'll check on him.
Want more postseason stats? Hey Siri, who's leading baseball in home runs in the postseason?
You said he got hit in a vulnerable area, and that's why Trey Turner is down, getting looked at with a count 2-2. The Geico Seats for Service program provides active duty service members with special seats at MLB ballparks across the country. Major League Baseball and Geico continue to partner and provide a fun and unique ballpark experience for service members and their families. Tonight, we welcome Chief Corey Flannery and his family to the 2019 World Series presented by YouTube TV. And we thank him for his dedication and service. Turner just now able to get up and go back to the on-deck circle and slowly make his way back to the batter's box as this crowd tries to cheer him on. Big bat. 1 for 3 tonight. 3 out of 11 in this series. Still in obvious discomfort. Harris brings it, and a strikeout. That's out number 2.
There's that big breaking ball. It starts up in the zone, ends below the zone. It's so tight to spin this breaking ball and create the arc that he does. See where his fingers are on the seam, and then he really pronates and throws that ball with tremendous break. Vertical break down.
So the inning is up to Adam Eaton. Takes a strike. Eaton has swung the bat well. He's walked tonight, singled through the left side, grounded out to first. Homered in game 2. Five for 10 in this World Series, and hitting in that number 2 spot in front of Anthony Rendon, which usually provides him good pitches to hit. He's jammed here. That's a foul ball. Strike 2. The main setup man for the Astros has to come in here in the 6th because of back-to-back walks by Peacock. Long way to go in this game 3.
Yeah, it's been a grind because Houston has had to grind through a bunch of innings. No clean innings. And right there, they're trying to figure out what that route is going to be like if they're able to win this game. Who's going to eat up the crucial outs?
Harris brings it on 0-2, and he didn't go. And the Astros dugout can't believe it. Let's take another look.
Yeah.
They appealed to third base umpire Sam Holbrook. He said no swing. And you see why the Astros reacted the way they did. It's called ball one instead of strike three, and now a 1-2 pitch from Harris. Foul back. Here's a 4D replay sponsored by T-Mobile. That'll make the Astros and their fans even more upset they didn't get that call. 1-2 the count, 2 on, 2 out. And a ground ball to first. Gurriel to the bag, and a great piece of work by Will Harris in the 6th inning. Long way to go in game 3. Astros up 3 back after this from your local Fox station. World Series. It's happened 24 times, and all 24 times that team that's been down 3-0 has lost 21 times by sweep. Hence the importance on this game and why the 6th inning was treated like the 8th. It's 4-1 Houston, down 2 games to nothing as they lead game 3, and Joe Ross takes over his regular season numbers, and Yan Gomes is now behind the plate after Suzuki was lifted for the pinch hitter. That's foul off the bat of Gurriel. Underway in the 7th inning. Ross, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Nationals. Sanchez 5 1/3. Rodney a good job to get out of any further damage in the 6th. And here's Ross. Shattered bat. Underhand for out number 1.
A short arm fastball got inside on a guy who's been really good inside. Broke his bat. Not many people have been able to do that to Gurriel. Pretty amazing.
So Gurriel retired, now 1 for 4 on the night. Here's Carlos Correa. 1 for 3.
No.
Ross deals low. Correa doubled and scored back in the 2nd. Grounded out with a couple of men on to end the top of the 5th. This one is skied into shallow left. Turner out. 2 out. Postseason is anything but predictable, and this year more than 600,000 fans across the country predicted how October would unfold in the MLB postseason bracket. It's presented by MGM Resorts with $250,000 on the line. Less than 2,000 brackets remain perfect. And with 2 out, here's Reddick. Reddick takes a strike. Part of the order will bat for the Nationals in the bottom of this 7th inning, and it looks like Harris will go back out there and work to Rendon, Soto, and Cabrera.
Nope.
Well, Reddick got the Astros going. He didn't exactly square it up, but he was able to dunk it in, and a good read by Correa got the Astros off to a 1-0 lead, and they have led the entire game.
Ross, who started the season in the bullpen, then went into the rotation, had good numbers as a starter. But now everything has been reshuffled here for the postseason, and he gets a chance to come out of the pen. And here's his 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Ross added for this World Series and getting a chance here in game 3 with Chirinos, who homered his last time up, waiting on deck. 2-2. Just got a piece.
Ross can spin it. Talked about that short arm fastball with some movement, but his slider is pretty good as well. Talked with David Martinez and just asked, you know, who would be the guy in case there was a shorter outing by Sanchez. He said, I trust Ross. And so Ross is in the game to get some outs and keep it to where the offense can kind of rally back.
Another 2-2 pitch. Reddick fouls it away. Josh tonight an RBI single. He's popped up, lined out. He got the start in the outfield tonight instead of Yordan Alvarez, the usual DH. They don't have his bat in their lineup yet. Available off the bench, but they wanted Reddick's defense. That's low, full count.
More than likely they'll have his bat in the lineup if this goes 5 games. But for A.J. Hinch and contact-oriented lineup against a contact pitcher in Zach Greinke, he needed the defense to be a priority.
And Reddick drove home the first run of the night for Houston. And now hits one in the air to left. Easy for Soto, and it's time to stretch. A 1-2-3 inning for Joe Ross. And that is the second 1-2-3 inning of the entire night. Rendon will start it for the hander Will Harris, and A.J. Hinch is asking Will Harris for 5 big outs. He got 2 in the 6th, trying to go through the 7th, and there is action for Houston in their bullpen with Joe Smith. A strike hits the inside corner to Rendon.
Rendon the last 2 times came up with runners on, and the very first pitch flew out to center and then flew out to left. Uncharacteristically showed some anger on a couple of those and didn't like the first call to be 0-1.
Nope.
One ball, one strike. There's Smith. 1-1 pitch. Grounded foul, strike 2.
Well, it's not too often you see a team as good as the Houston Astros or any team that gets to the World Series and doesn't have a left-hander in their bullpen. But A.J. Hinch says he's got the right-handers. He likes to face the left-handers if need be. I think you got to go all the way back to the early 1900s.
That's right.
Before a team was able to come into this spot without a left-handed pitcher.
That's upstairs. Yeah, pitcher on the roster, active roster, a left-hander. Last time that's happened in a World Series was 1903. The first World Series. And here we are, 2019, and there's a foul tip to keep Rendon at the plate, 2-2. There has been nothing easy tonight for the Astros pitching. Nationals have made them work. Washington stranded 10. While Houston has left 9.
And that's been the theme. Get the 2 strikes, get the 2 strikes, get the 2 strikes, but then somehow the Nationals get the count back. Neutral to 3-2.
That's the count now. 3-2 pitch. Fouled back here. Talking about the layoff in that 6-day break the Nationals had coming into this World Series. And manager Davey Martinez saying Rendon finally got his legs back under him. Been a long year. 3-2 pitch. Into right center field. Back is Springer, and about a step in front of the track hauls it in. Rendon's 1 for 4. Talked about it earlier, John. That's the area in this ballpark where the ball will carry. In the hot summer months, this ballpark can play small. But with the temperature where it is now, and obviously below, it was 62 at the start of the night. This is a fair ballpark, but that's the area where the ball will jump.
Yes. Facing some pretty good pitching as the postseason numbers of home run rates and the likes go down this time of year.
Soto, big swing and miss.
But again, most people didn't realize. Everyone knows about the Houston Astros, their offense, their record, their ability to pitch. But the Nats were just as stingy when it came to striking out. Fourth hardest team to strike out. Third best with 2 strikes on them.
2 quick strikes on Soto.
And the second best team with on base percentage. And of course, first place goes to the Astros in a lot of those categories I mentioned.
Yeah. How about that at bat? And that work by Will Harris just went right through Soto, who's 0 for 3 with a walk on his birthday and 2 out here in the 7th.
It's the first pitcher who's been able to beat him up and in. Great combination of pitches. There's that cutting fastball. You can see the ball kind of coming in towards the left-hander. And a kid who doesn't expand the zone too many times up out of the zone was unable to stop his bat.
Now as Drupal Cabrera, 2 more hits for the second baseman. His double in the 5th inning chased the starter Greinke. Had runners at second and third, and then Josh James got a big out as he came in and struck out Zimmerman. Nothing in 2 the count. Tom Verducci, A.J. Hinch had Will Harris ready last inning.
Yeah, you got to give the manager credit for the foresight. Even before those 2 walks, he had Harris getting ready for the top of the lineup. Peacock against the top of the lineup is a matchup he wanted to stay away from. As you mentioned, his most reliable reliever, use him in that spot, and here he is getting 5 outs.
He has done that. Astros went 1-2-3 in the top half. Nationals go 1-2-3 in the bottom half. 8th inning, game 3. Houston up tonight. He takes a breaking ball from Ross for strike 1. Chirinos and a pinch hitter, and that pinch hitter will be Yordan Alvarez, the rookie left-handed hitter. And then back to the top, Springer. Nobody up at the moment for Houston in their bullpen. Here's a ground ball right side. Zimmerman knocks it down, gets the out. 4 straight retired by Ross. Who's here at Nationals Park? Great Nolan Ryan, and advisor to the front office in Houston, Joe Torre. Now with Major League Baseball. A couple of former Washington Nationals here checking out the first World Series game since 1933 in D.C. And Chris Wallace from Fox News is here. And 1 out, nobody on. Here's Alvarez.
Still waiting to get him totally on track with a loud sound. This guy can make a ballpark look small.
Little grunt there as he almost walked right into it. Ball 1.
Got some hits in this World Series. Really struggled in the ALCS against the Yankees, and of course no DH here in the National League. Looks like 1 game. Will be the game he plays if there's a game 5.
1 ball, 1 strike on Alvarez. 3 for 6 through the first 2 games back in Houston. The reason being, if there's a game 5 on Sunday night, there's a lot of swing and miss stuff that we will see or should see from both pitchers in that game. Turner has out number 2. And the batter will be Springer. Sunday on Fox, Carson Wentz leads the Eagles against the surprising Bills, or Christian McCaffrey. What a year he's putting together in the Panthers. Look to keep things rolling against the undefeated 49ers. Check local listings for the game in your area or catch it all on the Fox Sports app. That's up the middle, off the foot of Ross to Rendon for a hit for Springer.
Wow, that's smoked him.
And they want to make sure he's okay. And he is.
This is right back up the middle, and luckily it catches him on the side of the foot and not the ankle bone. That would be. He takes this like a champ, by the way.
How would you have taken that on the mound?
At times it could have looked like I was a fish out of water flopping around on the ground, maybe.
Looking for attention. Not Ross. See if Springer wants to run. That's another one right back through him for the out. Ross is just shaking his head like, wow, what'd I do? Altuve grounds out. Bottom of the 8th inning, rolls in DC. Astros up by 3. World Series, and for every hot stove update during the offseason, follow MLB on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Bottom of the 8th inning rolls in. Ryan Zimmerman first up. Ball. And Joe Smith to the mound. He misses outside. Submarine style right-handed reliever trying to get some big outs here in the 8th inning of game 3. There's a strike, a ball and a strike.
Has that late slider break on a pitcher. Looks like he throws it uphill to a right-handed hitter. He started in. It's just almost impossible to pull the trigger because you think it's going to be inside.
That's in at the knees. Strike 2. He
could sweep one right off of that outside fastball if he wanted to. Threw one in, threw one away.
How about that bit of work by Joe Smith? That pitch looked like it backed up a little bit, and a swing and a miss struck him out. Out is Ryan Zimmerman, 1 out in the 8th.
Not every pitch is a great pitch where it ends up. This ball did back up. It was supposed to sweep away, but it tied him up inside. Got away with it, got the strikeout.
And with Howie Kendrick being announced as the pinch hitter here in the 8th inning, good work by Ross. We'll check in with Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, great work tonight by the Astros bullpen thus far, but one reliever conspicuous in his absence, Ryan Presley. He, of course, had that rough inning in game 2 and has clearly moved down in the pecking order. And with a bullpen game looming tomorrow, it's a matter of trust. And if Presley doesn't have A.J. Hinch's trust, it compromises the Astros that much more.
Yeah, and whoever wants to weigh in on this, I mean, we talk about it every year. Doesn't matter the team, the manager, or the bullpen. You find out who these managers trust when these games are on the line, and it is usually a very short list.
Yeah, of course he's had the knee issue and he had a little scare with the scar tissue, but he'll be in there tomorrow. I mean, they need him tomorrow because they're going to need a lot of pieces to be successful tomorrow.
Here's a 2-0 pitch. That's a strike. 2-1 on Kendrick.
But from the high leverage situation, maybe just give him a little breather to get back in the fray. You got to understand that game could have been covered up with a play that was made, didn't get made. He had a couple soft contacts. The inning opened up and the game was over.
3 balls and a strike. Kendrick trying to get something started here in the 8th inning. Hard hit, base hit. 1 on, 1 out. Kendrick is aboard. The guy with the best average across baseball over the past 3 years. The NLCS MVP shoots one into right center.
Just good hitting and something he's done really the whole second half for the Nationals. Stays right inside the ball, almost up the middle. Just a high contact guy and a high average guy this year.
The 35-year-old Joe Smith takes on the 22-year-old Victor Robles, who has a walk, a stolen base, an RBI triple, and he's bounced into a double play. Takes a strike. Smith tore his Achilles last year, and to work his way back from that cost him the beginning part of the season. Here he is in the World Series, Game 3, and a check on the runner Kendrick, who has a small lead.
It's a tough injury for anybody to come back in any sport. It just seems like it's been a rash of those. I mean, Betances just tore his, Britton tore his. Just don't hear of that very often in baseball.
And that guy going back to the bag, Howie Kendrick, tore his last year. Joe Smith came up with the Mets in 2007. Then Cleveland for a few years. Then to the Angels, Cubs, Toronto, Cleveland again, Houston. That's a strike, and the count 0-2.
It's just so hard to pick up when it's that tight and it stays in that lane, lower part of the zone with late break. Overhand pitchers throw what's called a spike curveball, kind of bent finger. He has that from the lower 3/4.
Oh-2 pitch.
Nope.
Wouldn't chase it. Smith put that right where he wanted to. Robles able to lay off. Said it the other night. 782 appearances for Joe Smith. The most among active hurlers without getting to the World Series until right now. He got him looking. Strikeout number 2. And the batter will be Yan Gomes.
So he's got a ball that breaks away from him, does Robles, and then here's one that kind of comes back, tails up right over the middle of the plate. Got 2 different directions, and Robles is trying to figure out the angle and what the pitch is doing, and just got locked up.
It's just interesting because you hear about a 4-seam fastball. Here's Gomes. They come over the top and they're using those seams, and it has that jump. That's like a 4-seam pitch where the seams are going sideways.
Yeah.
All 4 seams. And that hits the outside corner. Strike 1. First at bat for Yan Gomes. First World Series appearance here in 2019 for Washington. 4 out of 13 this postseason. Gomes 3 for 6 with a couple of home runs and 6 RBIs against Joe Smith, but here in the hole 0-2.
That was the pitch he had a chance to do something with. He missed it. And now let's see if Smith either rides the fastball up out of the zone or tries to sweep it even more, since that one stayed over the middle of the plate.
So Wander Suero getting loose, as well as Daniel Hudson. 2 right-handers. Here's the 0-2. Little pop-up right side. Gurriel gives it a look, and it's out of play. Unmissable Moment is sponsored by YouTube TV. Try it free. Terms apply. Pat Morita getting everybody fired up here on the scoreboard. And count 0-2. Clapping, not waxing on or waxing off.
No.
Just outside. That's ball, 2 strikes.
That's the one he wanted earlier. He threw 2 in the strike zone. That one he got to sweep. And amazingly, Gomes was able to lay off of it.
Jan took over for Suzuki in the 7th. Batting in the 8th. Left side. Bregman has to go to first. Gets his man. 3 big outs picked up by Joe Smith, the veteran right-hander. Sends game 3 into the 9th with Houston on top 4-1. Alex Bregman proving that all teams use iPads across MLB, analyzing scouting reports, stats aiding their in-game decisions. He's checking out the work of Wander Suero.
Ball.
And this is outside with ball 1. Brantley, a nice night. Been on base 3 times, 2 RBI singles, and an intentional walk. They're the regular season numbers for Suero. ERA over 4.5. Late swing and a miss, a ball and a strike.
Well, he's got good stuff. He throws the cutter primarily with a changeup and a curveball. It's a matter of whether he can command it. Sometimes loses the strike zone, but his stuff, he's got a lot of swing and miss in it.
Fouled back, strike 2. Suero was initially signed as an amateur free agent. About 8 years later, made his debut last year in May. Trying to harness that good stuff. Into left center field, going to grab it is Soto, 1 down. T-Mobile takes fans further for the future of baseball, and now let's take a look at the best of the 4D replays, sponsored by T-Mobile. Little turn by Altuve here on a double play, hit into by Robles back in the 2nd after we saw Correa slide in across home plate. Top of the order for the Nationals in the bottom of this 9th inning. And the closer, Roberto Osuna, is going to come in. Here's the 0-1. That's caught by Turner. Wow, he just timed it perfectly. And Alex Bregman is thinking, I finally hit a ball on the nose other than the homer in game 2. And he has to turn around and go back to the dugout.
Turner, great athlete, sneaky, taller than you think, and he goes up the ladder and brings it back. That's getting up there.
Yeah, I'll say. He'll lead it off in the bottom of this inning. Gurriel takes a breaking ball for a strike from Suero, who led the Nationals with 19 holds, 78 games pitched, struck out 81. He got plenty of work, and he gets a foul ball off the bat of Gurriel to set him up at 0-2. Roberto Osuna ready to go. So Suero here, the 0-2. Got him looking on the inside corner. The relief pitching has been good on both sides. Will that continue? Will the Nationals come roaring back in game number 3. And that's the last run of the ball game that scored. It's 4-1. Here's Roberto Osuna in to try and close it in a 4-1 ball game. Astros change their outfield defense by bringing Marisnik into play center. And they get Brantley out of the ball game, and the first pitch is a ball to Trey Turner. Reddick goes from right to left, Marisnik in center, and Springer in right. (2-0).
Osuna having a hard time seeing the signs. Nobody on. He crossed up his catcher. He's had some issues from time to time with command, and of course he gave up the 2-run homer in the 9th in an epic battle at bat with LeMahieu. This is safely the most important inning of the series so far.
2-0 pitch. 2-1. The bullpen for Houston to this point has been terrific in this game. 3 1/3, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. One bigger than the one picked up by Josh James on Zimmerman when he relieved Greinke. That's down, and the count 3-1. The next. Full count.
You absolutely have to make him hit it. If it goes over the fence, it goes over the fence. If he gets a base hit, he gets a base hit. You cannot start out the 9th on the road with a walk.
Here it comes. Fouled away. Will Harris got 5 big outs in this game. Came on in the 6th inning after back-to-back walks, struck out Turner, got Eaton on a ground out, had a 1-2-3 7th. 3-2 pitch is skied in the air to right center. Back is Marisnik. 1 away. So Osuna comes back to get Turner and will pitch to Adam Eaton.
That's so huge in the 9th. Because now if anybody gets on, you always feel like you're 1 pitch away from a double play ending it. You just don't want to create any anxiety for yourself. You don't even care if you give up 2 solo home runs. The object is to just get the 3rd out before the 3rd run scores. Don't put anybody on base with walks.
Ball. First pitch is up to Adam Eaton. He's been on base twice tonight. Five for 11 in this World Series is Eaton. Two 2-0. Jam shot, shallow left center, might drop. It is a base hit. Correa got near it, couldn't make the play. 1 on, 1 out. And some life here in the 9th inning for the Nationals with Rendon and Soto coming up.
Almost an incredible play by Correa, and he did a good job just corralling it, making sure he stayed at first. Rendon understands the teammate on deck brings it the tying run, and if he can get on base, it brings Soto.
The first from Osuna popped up. He goes after the first pitch again, and in foul ground. That was not easy as Chirinos hauls it in, 2 out. That's the 3rd time in the game with somebody on base. Rendon is offered at the first pitch, and he becomes the 2nd out here in the 9th.
Yeah, and every time it's been in this case a pop-up, but a flyout in general. Imagine this place with first and second, Soto coming to the plate. Now they're just hoping he can get on.
Nope.
1 ball, no strikes. In this ball game, the Nationals 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They've left 11 runners stranded. The Nationals have. They've had their chances. The Astros, whether it was Greinke, the starter, or the guys out of the bullpen, have made big pitches to get out of trouble.
And really, if you're Davey Martinez, what you're saying to your team is same thing tomorrow. You can't come back and rally with 2 outs and tie this up or win the game. Same thing. Create pressure. We'll get those hits. Believe in yourselves, because we put ourselves in the situation with those big hits.
When we talked to A.J. Hinch, he said 90% it would be Jose Urquidy tomorrow against Patrick Corbin. The matchup in Game 4.
Nope.
They count 2-2.
A little surprised Eaton is still at first base. He could almost get the lead he wants and get to second. The reason that would be important is you just eliminate the force out.
2-2 pitch. That gets him, and the Astros have taken Game 3. 4-1 is the final, and Houston back in this World Series. And the 8-game winning streak this postseason for the Nationals is snapped. And it still holds that no team has ever won 9 straight in any single postseason. In a 4-hour, 3-minute game, Houston wins it 4-1.
Yeah, a team with a lot of confidence. The Astros coming into this series were, I don't want to say they lost their confidence. They were just kind of punched in the gut by a team that went and won the first 2 games. Now Houston comes in on the road and is able to establish themselves a victory and feel a little bit better about their chances to return to Houston. That's the goal. They want to return to Houston with another team coming with them. Still a lot of this series to be played, and obviously tomorrow they're going to need a lot of relievers.